Oh, look, we're live on the internet on a Saturday morning, Mr. Skiddy.
Very good morning to you too, Matty G. Good to see your beautiful face, mate.
Yeah, you too.
Ready to get started again, mate. Like, geez,
I just want to take no, I'm not going to lie. I just want to take out the basketball out of the fantasy basketball and talk fantasy for a second. Look at you. You've had yourself a haircut. You've been to the barber shop. You've had the beard trimmed nicely. You've got the mustache.
Yeah,
Someone's looking nice for the Christmas season.
Very much appreciate it, mate. Down here in sunny Melbourne, it is way too hot to be having a beard. So I finally convinced the fiance that it's going to go, and it's just back to party time, mo time. So Christmas party season, baby. We're back to
mate. Look, it is Saturday morning here. It is an Australian summer. So when we talk about it, we've had our first 40 degree weather for the year. Everyone around the world who's you're watching over in the United States can be like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's hot. We don't have such thing as a white Christmas here. But I think one of the big things to talk about for the day, obviously, we're talking all things NBA. We're getting down to business. We've got some sad news to discuss as part of it as well. But let's have a little bit of a general talk about the fantasy landscape and do a little bit of this. Major updates. Let's not talk the Cleveland Cavaliers yet because I really want to have a bit of a deep dive with you on that one.
Sounds good.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on with you in your fantasy landscape right now. Some hot ads and some trends you've been noticing across the NBA the last couple of weeks, including some sites in Miami.
Yeah, so Miami's obviously an interesting one with Tyler Hero still out and Bam Adebayo out, Joshy Richardson now as well. So they do have a couple of guys that can come through on the waiver wire that you're able to pick up. Homie Huckers Jr. has been one that's been on our radar for a while now. He's getting you a good source of points and good field goal percentage with rebounds and assists. So he's a good one there in Miami. Another ripper that has been coming up just as recently with the injury in Utah to Keontae George. Colin Sexton is all signs to go with George and Clarkson both out. So Sexton being able to provide a good source of points and also assists, which has been a little bit strange because Colin doesn't normally do that. We saw him yesterday. He had 27, 2 and 4 with a steal and 64% shooting. So good free throws. So he's another one that's been on my radar. I've picked him up in a couple of leagues, which has been good. I mean, they've been my main two pickups to go in shallower leagues, and then now I'm looking deeper leagues. I've been looking at guys like Craig Porter Jr. In Cleveland now with Darius Garland out, maybe even Coro, but I'd rather Porter.
Yeah, you'd rather that. You've been on that one for a while, and I know that you love the homie Haskins Jr. Just an update as well. There's been, with the Keontae George injury, the MRI revealed there was no significant damage, which is good news. Good. So he'll miss like the next 2 to 3 games, if anything like that, and they're going to be reevaluated when they get back from their road trip. So you could probably look to see Keontae George back in the Utah lineup sooner rather than later. So that's when we want to keep our eyes. But you speak this at the beginning of this season. What does Colin Sexton do for us? Apart from score points. So that was a big thing that was lacking in his games. Oh, hello. Oh, look, it's our old mate Don Sicario. G'day, Donnie. Hey, he's back in. Donnie. Yeah, mate, good to see you back in there. I'm pretty sure Don is who you called Shags last time. You had to be like, do you know what I'm saying when I call you Shags? So if you do have any questions or comments today, make sure you drop them in the chat. And let's get down to it. This is the big question. This is I hate doing it, and I do, because you know how much of a fan I was of a couple of these guys. But let's do this one right here. God, I love that song. It just makes me want to go out on a Friday to a pub here in Australia and have a few drinks and hit the karaoke bar later on. The big news, obviously, is the Cleveland Cavaliers waking up today that you're looking Evan Mobley out for 6 to 8 weeks. You're looking at Darius Garland with a fractured jaw until about pretty much 3 weeks, about the 10th of January. So the Garland, although it's a fractured jaw, I hate saying it's a less significant injury because obviously it is a significant injury. It's a freaking fractured jaw. But Mobley with his knee, that's big time on a bounce-back season. What happens in Cleveland? Because I've got my Coliseum, I've got my Palace on the Prairie shirt. This is your team. Yeah. Ring the alarm bells. Ring the alarm bells because Ricky Rubio exists. I'm just saying, Ricky Rubio exists.
He does, but he's still on his mental health problems over in Spain. So I wouldn't expect to see Ricky come back. But if he does, then yeah, it's a good shout to have him. But I think realistically, we're looking at a starting lineup of Mitchell, Okoro, Struce, Wade, and Allen. They could go a bit sideways and go Porter, Mitchell, Struce, Wade, and Allen. Both aren't great options, but when we look at it, Craig Porter's got the fantasy skill set that we really like to see from young players. He can get you some points. He gets pretty good field goal efficiency, no threes, but okay rebounds and good defensive stats from a guard. He's also gets really good assists. So I think if he gets the playing time, he's the ad. So I will happily take a swing on Craig Porter Jr. But other than that, like Okoro is not great fantasy wise, but I think he still will get some of the minutes. Wade is no, we've already seen that. And then I think it's just going to be extra minutes for either Tristan Thompson, backup center, because Mobley won't be playing it. We could see a little bit of Amoni Bates as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be touching him in fantasy. But I think this is a massive upswing for Levert. He is definitely the ad, even though he probably won't start. He'll be getting the most minutes. He'll be getting the bulk of the playing time late in games. I think this really hurts Jared Allen as well. Jared Allen really, his numbers boost when he's playing with DG, just because DG is such a good facilitator. And let's be honest here, Allen.
Yeah, let's be said. I think Allen might get a bump in some rebounds and having to wear some of those defensive stats for the Cavs, because he will be pretty much. I think he's like the only, like, let's be honest, he's like the last line of defense in a way. Here we go. We've got our first question. We'll come down to that one in a second. But he's like the last line of defense now for the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's nothing more that he can really do apart from be that. One of the things that makes the Cavs such a ideal basketball team is that if the ideal world where Evan Mobley progresses to being the true stretch that he can be or would like to be or we dream of, that's just rim protection left, right, and center. But now it just depends on Allen. It's so much.
Yeah, it does. But Allen has always been that last line of defense, but he gets too much pressure put on him without Mobley there, and he's not strong enough to get up against these bigger guards to out-rebound them all. I still think it's just going to be, I think it's going to be the same Allen with just less scoring, because DG is not there to facilitate it. So he really has to step up. And from what we've seen at the start of this year, it hasn't been great on the rebounding numbers, and also like his blocks have been down. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I'm a little bit worried about how it's going to go for the Cavs, because this could be pretty ugly depending on how much Donovan Mitchell's going to step up. So,
and you know that I've rostered Donovan Mitchell in like 4 leagues because of how much I liked him this season. So although I'm mourning the loss, because one of them I did make a little Cavs stack. I actually went the Cavs backcourt in one of my leagues. So that was great for me. But yeah, I thought, let me see if it works, because I actually have high hopes for the Cavs this season. Like, we did that preview pod, and I was like, I think the Cavs are going to make a decent run this year. And every single time they just throw size at them, like the Knicks, and it just doesn't work. It breaks my heart. But I love the premise of what they can ultimately bring for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We do have our first question down below from Grant for Jakob. Now, I'm assuming that because we're on a first name basis, this is Grant Williams. Is it Grant Williams or
I'd say Jeremy? Yeah, I'd say Jeremy.
I think it's just got to be Jeremy Grant. We're on a first name basis, but my answer is no. I actually just like Jakob Poeltl more right now. I just don't know what's going to happen in Portland down the stretch, but I think Jakob Poeltl is. I own him, and I was a frustrated Jakob Poeltl owner to begin the season. Shout out to the hot wife in the room. Hello. She just walks in. Gorge. Hello. Look, my bad, Jeremy. No, we call it Geronimo around these parts, Jeremy. Yeah, we've got him. Thank God, Donnie. No, I say no, mate, because I was a frustrated Jakob Poeltl owner. I've said that you had to go through the fire with Darko to begin the year, to be fair. I think there was this point they weren't playing him like they wanted. They really wanted to test him. They brought him in to the Raptors. And in all the trade talk we've heard, he's the kind of name that's been not mentioned a lot. So I think he's there. I think he's sustainable. And I think there's a higher chance that down the stretch, Grant just fades away into the background. So I'd be keeping Jakob. Your thoughts, Skiddy?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't even care. Like Jakob's only downfall is his free throw percentage, and Grant's got many more than that. I'll 100% take Jakob over Grant +2. down the stretch, Jeremy Grant has miraculously had a knee injury every single year when it comes to about
every
March.
year.
So, I mean, it may happen again. Let's see how we go. But yeah, I would be taking Podol. He's a lead at field goal percentage, good rebounding, good blocks. Yeah, I will. I'll take Jakob there every single time.
There's those games. He can put 2 games up for you in a 4-game week where he shoots 100 from the field, or 889. Like that's good, and he's doing it on Boyd percentages. The little thing that I haven't liked about him is the bulk blocks have not been consistent. Like usually he was a steady 2-block a game guy. They're coming in drips and drabs. So he hasn't had a block in the last 2 games, but then it was 4, and then it was 2, then it was 1, then 2, then none, then 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 3. So I mean, like this is what I'm not liking is that lack of consistency in the double blocks. That's why I drafted him. I'm like, where's 2 blocks and 10 rebounds a game and 10 points? Like, where's my my guaranteed locked in double and 2 blocks? And I look to Jakob as a guy I could pick up later in my draft instead of earlier on. But I'd be keeping him in the long haul there, mate. Other news we want to get down to, I want to go through the injury report because we are doing the injury in Atlanta. We've got out, guys. Jalen Johnson is still looking to a Christmas Day comeback in a couple of weeks' time or after that. So he's going to be reevaluated. So that's an ad in the new year. We're not jumping to see what comes back in. They're going to ease him back into action because they have been going all right with Sadiq Bey. Bogdanovic just looks completely invigorated. The big ones here, though, the Boston Celtics. There's no injury concerns here, but how much do you hate the Celts after what happened yesterday?
No, they were just a better team. It's just how it went. They played better basketball. The size was just too much for us to handle. So, no, that's fine because, Tatum and Brown just did their thing. But a little worried about him today because Horford, we know, can't play a back-to-back, so he's not playing today. Kristaps Porzingis is looking like he's not playing. So that's
a game-time decision for...
And Cornette,
Jaylen Brown.
So they have no centers. Jaylen Brown also a game time decision. And Matty, what do I always say, mate? When it's Magic versus Boston, the Celtics cannot beat the Magic. Magic win again today. It's just how it goes. Magic have won the last 5 times against Boston. Isn't that?
I'm going to show you something.
So far down. Just smacks who we assume is like one of the best teams in the East, and they just cannot beat the Magic. I
did something, and I was like, I was going to pull this on you today because we always try and make a live ad here in studio. We try and do something, and I wanted to surprise you with one today, apart from obviously grilling you. I was looking around the waiver wire. Look, we do this. This is what we do. We try and do one live ad at least a week so we can put our money where our mouth is, legitimately in our real cash leagues. Like, that's what we're about. We're like giving you the best advice we can for our cash leagues. Look who I picked up. Do you see him, Skiddy? Does the camera focus? I picked in Goga today. I got Badadze today because I looked in my waiver wire and I was like, what's going on here? He's on there. They're playing the Celtics. They have no center whatsoever. Horford's not going to be in the back-to-back most likely, or maybe they have to play him today. Maybe they just have to play Al Horford because there's no Cornette. KP is probably like, he's going to being out. So Goga was a must-add. So our first real hot tip of the day is that if you get half of the chance and he is on your wire and you can still make a daily ad, get Goga into your lineups for the stream today because you always say it, mate. The Celtics cannot, for some reason, play against the Magic. It just doesn't. They're the kryptonite for them.
They literally are. I said this their first meeting. I came on this show and I said to everyone, Magic were paying $3, I think, that day. And I said, just put the Magic in and they beat them easily as well. Like, it wasn't even close to being a contest. The Celtics just cannot, for some reason, get over the Magic. It doesn't matter if it's in Orlando. It doesn't matter if it's in Boston. Magic beat Celtics.
Are we going to roll into this? We're starting to talk through them. We've done our big highlight one. Are we going to do this one? Skiddy, I think we should do this one.
He's heating up.
Should we do our game preview for the day?
Yeah, mate, let's get into it. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's go through all the games for the day because I think we could. We're not going to punt heavy. We are going to summarize things. My thing's still on there. We are going to come back to punt land at the end of everything today. So we're going to get into that at the end. But what we're looking at today, let's go through the games from front to back. Pelicans versus the Hornets. Zion Williamson is still listed for me as a game time decision, but he was present at shoot around this morning. So I don't know if it flares up between now or they say he's not good to go, but Zion's playing. We know that he's missed he missed the last game, but he's been an absolute weapon lately.
Yep. Absolutely, mate. And the Pelicans are just rolling, aren't they? They even with Zion out, Brandon Ingram just steps up. He had a 40 piece last time out. He's looking good. Herb Jones, he needs to pick it up a little bit. Their numbers are starting to dip down from when I believe he was top 20 earlier in the year, just because of bulk defensive stats and a little bit of everything. So,
but it's the Trey. We can't blame him. That really is the Trey Murphy impact. And Trey Murphy the other day obviously had a blockbuster day. Yeah. So we can't put that so much. There's so much talent. If you look at the depth of the Pelicans, that this is the unfortunate outcome for guys like Herb Jones. It's going to have to wear at some point, and it's most likely was always going to impact him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, because we know it's not coming from Valanciunas, Williamson, Ingram or McCollum. So, but then they're also starting to play Dyson Daniels a little bit more, which I don't mind. Jose Alvarado's back as well. The team is so deep, man. Like, geez, they are very, very deep.
Oh, g'day. I just had we just put this one up here talking about on the back one of that. Here we go. G'day to Hui Kong Tan. Did I say that? Hui Kong. Hoi. Oh, hoi. Mate, out. Garland, Bain, Barnes, Aldama, in. Giannis, Gordon, and Jabari Smith Jr. Pick up Gordon Hayward 2 weeks ago. I thought I overpaid. Now I feel better. Oh, mate, 100%. I've been high, and this is good. We were talking about the Hornets right now. Gordon Hayward is a sell high candidate. I did him in the show this week. I didn't do him. Okay, wait. Let me rephrase my words and have a sip of coffee. I did not do Gordon Hayward, but I put Gordon Hayward on my list of sell high guys. He has been an absolute scorcher, and this has also been with LaMelo out. So his usage has had to increase by default. If there is a time to move Hayward, mate, this is it now. Like, this is the time.
He's picked up Hayward.
That's what I'm saying. But if you want to move him and get a better piece, that's a good pickup. Like, mate, this is absolute huge pickup for you there. Love that. But I would just be looking at Gordon Hayward as a sell high option, because when LaMelo comes back, we all know that his efficiency, historically, his efficiency and his usage, Gordon's drops down. Miles has taken the step up in Charlotte. Like I expected him to this season upon his return, and he's proving that. One of the outcomes will be a lack of minutes, lack of usage for Gordon Hayward, and he is a trade candidate with his contract being bought out. I would probably try and move him and get a really good top 100 piece back, top 80 piece back. Because if you look down Gordon Hayward's piece, look, I'll bring up his stats. Hayward's pieces. He's an absolute gun. Like, this is why we loved him as a pickup after 100, because he was just being left in like 2017, like 24.
But look at the glue guy for the Hornets at the moment. Like, he's piecing them all together. He's kind of keeping them. Like, he'll get a couple of assists, couple of boards, a good amount of points as well. So he's really
averaging 4 of each at least 4 rebounds and 4 assists. And I would be looking today in this game versus the Pelicans, I would be looking for maybe a cheeky little Hayward extra 4 assists in there as well, as a bit of a playmaker on that team today. This comes to our next game of the day. We've got the Pistons versus the 76ers. And can I just say, there is no bigger horse in the world than our friend Mick Dell. But if you're looking for a rival horse, Joel Embiid had an absolute monstrous game against Detroit. Mate, how many points are we going for him today? Like 87?
Oh, mate, he's going to absolutely kill him again. Stewart probably get fouled in foul trouble again really, really early, because Embiid absolutely killed him last time out. Then he got, I think he got ejected, Beef Stew, so that was good by him. And Wiseman can't defend him, so
no one can defend Joel Embiid this season. I think this is his. If this is almost the season, I would be like, this should be his MVP year almost. Well, like, he is.
Yeah, last year wasn't, because we all know Jokic should have got it, but that's all right. He still got it in the end. But Embiid is the number 1 overall player in fantasy so far this year, and he's absolutely taken the piss. It is a monstrous effort of what he's doing. Philly's going to kill him again. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Kelly Oubre, I reckon, mate, I'll tell you what, this is not a betting podcast, but Kelly Oubre is paying very nicely for 20 points today, and he had 19. Hot.
We know you love your tsunami. We know you love your tsunami, puppy. Look, they can just, and again as well, they just roll their starters out. So if you're looking for anything action like that way today, do not go heavy on these guys, because once they get up today, I'm just going to think that they're just going to pull starters.
Except Embiid. I think they're just going to do the same thing that they did last time, and they're just going to give Embiid the ball, and he's just going to cook them. Like, Stewart ain't going to do shit. Wiseman ain't going to do shit. Imagine putting Bogdanovic against him. That's hell. So, Philly to kill him.
Philly to absolutely kill him there. I would be looking around for our next game of the day, looking for some value here in the Pacers versus the Wizards. Well, we all know what we're looking for there. There's no real ads here. The one thing that I would keep up, TJ McConnell with Nemhard being out has been a nice option if you need some stream action in with your assists and your steals. TJ, he does what he does. He'll get you some points. He'll get you some threes. He'll generally do someone a pretty decent percentage as well, but TJ is much there. Do we see some more Wizards? Do we see some more Koulibaly action? Because they had been rolling him out there early in these games, Skiddy.
Yeah, I think especially with Jordan Poole looking to be a game-time decision, I think they may go with Kispert to start if Poole doesn't start, but I think Koulibaly will get majority of the minutes. So Koulibaly, Avdia, good pickups for today if you're trying to stream in defensive stats. Avdia with a bit more assists and rebounds, you know what he gets, but low points. I think they could be a pretty good one. Also, too, we know the Pacers like to play that fast pace style of basketball, get up a lot of shots very quickly. So, I think this could be a good game to bring in Koulibaly if need be. Even Kispert. I mean, Kispert can knock you down 4 threes pretty easily if it pulls out. So, I'd be keeping an eye on, get your notifications on to see if Poole plays or not. So, then we can have a go on Kispert.
I've got Huey Kong come back with that. Who should I target for Hayward on that sell high? Mate, whoever you want. Yeah. Don't go inside the top. Like, honestly, I think he's got enough currency right now in fantasy land, Huey, to actually get you back someone of value. So what do you want? Like, what do you need on your team? When you look at your list and you see, like, what do I need? Where's my strengths? Where's my deficiencies? I'd be having a look at who you can get back. What can you sacrifice? Are you really, really strong on points? Because that's one thing that Gordon Hayward can cheeky rack up for you, and those peripheral stats. So look for the peripherals that are going to be ongoing and sustainable. But do you need more blocks? So can you get a player back that's get like 7 or 8 rebounds a game, maybe 1 less assist, but get you a block or 2? That's what you're kind of looking for. What's the efficiencies there? Like, do you need to get that from a big man? So you're looking maybe for a pure power forward center spot and rotate that into your team, Huey. I'd just be looking inside the value of anywhere between 60 and 85. And I'd target high and I'd send out a few trades in your league. And I'd be looking for some good buy low targets. Like, I saw a trade in a league this week. I was asked, should I do this? And I was like, no. The guy was like, I'm thinking about trading OG Anunoby for Gordon Hayward because OG was in a buy low. And I'm like, do not do that. Do not accept that trade. That was my advice. I was like, don't accept that. I'm a frustrated OG owner. I'm not going to get rid of him for Gordon Hayward. And then sure enough, OG's put a couple of games together since. So just look to around who you want in those buy low targets, Yoy. But I would definitely target anyone from between maybe 65 to 85 range in value. Have a look through your needs, and I'd go in for there, and that would be my main go-to, brother. Next game of the day, we've got the Magic versus the Celtics. Look, Skiddy's already been very, very clear about this one for the morning. The Magic are going to probably eat them alive, and with a possible target on there right now, a target on their back with who's out for us. Like, we're looking at right here, if Horford is out, well, that's great. If Jaylen Brown is a game-time decision as well, you're quickly running out of options to defend the guys of Goga Banadze and Paolo Banchero and that massive size that the Orlando Magic actually bring in. And there's one thing that the Orlando Magic have. It's too many fucking big guys. Like, these guys are absolutely massive. They've got Goga. They've got Mo Wagner. They roll those out there. Oh, Jonathan Isaac, would you like to go and play center for a little while? Sure thing. So if they look to attack the middle with that being outages on that one, I think you can get an absolutely good streaming pick and one of those guys up for the Magic. No one we're really looking for the Celtics for today. Look,
Shithauser.
There was Shithauser is pretty much the only bloke I'd be looking for.
Shithauser for threes. He will, if Brown's out, he's starting and he will knock down some threes. Shithauser is the pickup there, but for center wise, I got no idea. Apparently, Lamar Stevens is listed as the center, who is, I'm pretty sure, 6'8", so he's smaller than Tatum. That's
Jesus.
That looks a bit rough there for the Celtics. So
run. Do not walk to your waiver wire and see if Goga is there for the day. If you need some rebounds.
Even Mo Wagner, man. Mo Wagner, I'm pretty sure he put up 20. I think he put up 22 on the Celtics last time from memory. It was it was either low 20s or high teens. So Mo Wagner's another good pickup there as well. Just quickly touching back on the Hornets-Pelicans game, PJ Washington is out with his shoulder. So obviously more for JT Thor, but wouldn't be picking him up. Mark Williams is still game time. So, it'd be Nick Richards-Bridges, Hayward, Miller and Rozier with JT Thor, McGowan's, but I wouldn't be taking a swing on any of those guys. It would just be, Pelicans still killing them. But, back to the Celtics game. Big guys for the Magic. Shithouser if you want anything from the Celtics. But this is going to be a very interesting rotation to see how the Celtics deal with this with no big men whatsoever.
Just a random cheeky 30 piece for Tatum. You put 25 points plus. Like he's going to have to do a lot of lifting.
Yeah, that is true. They are on a back-to-back as well.
They are. Have we got confirmation yet if Jaylen Brown is out, or are they going to put him in? He was a game time decision. Has he gone through shoot-around?
Still currently game time with the right knee hyperextension. No, I'm not 100% sure yet, but it is a back-to-back. I'd say they'd be a bit more a bit more cautious with it because he also had an ankle injury going into the Cavs game yesterday, I believe. So I'd be so surprised if they play him today. If he's got an ankle injury, then into a hyperextension of his knee, that just kind of seems like, we might play it safe today.
And I'm a little bit I'm not going to say I'm a doctor at this one, but I'm a little bit like I'm quite tall. Like I'm 6'4". I play basketball in my life. So I know how leg injuries work being a taller bloke. I'm so sorry for being so tall and genetically blessed. It's from my mum. My mum. Here's a random funny story for you. So Mama G is in a wheelchair. Yeah. So Mama G has been in a wheelchair since she was 13 years old. So I've never seen my mum. I have never seen my mum walk. Like I've never seen my mum stand up. So I had no idea how tall my mum was, like ever. Like I've never known. Like it was like, you got your height from your mum. You got your height from your mum. I gave you your height. And I'm like, you sit down. Like you have a lap. I don't know how tall you are on your lap. Anyway, so it came to her 70th birthday party earlier this year. I kid you not. And there is a random photo of my mum standing on this plaque of photos that was pulled out. And my mum, and this is a woman who played wheelchair basketball for a short time as well. So Mama G was a hooper. Mama G was a hooper. I throw that superstar. Anyway, I saw this picture, and my uncle, he was like quite tall. And my mum, before she had the accident, this photo was taken in black and white just a few days before she had her accident. And my mum was fucking so tall. She was dwarfing the people around her. They were all at like Mama G. Mama G was like just there's everyone's top of their head, and Mama G's like, "Hey, what up?" Anyway, so how those leg injuries work, if you are a big man or if you are larger and you put that, if you have an ankle injury, you kind of don't put your weight on that the same way. Like you maneuver your body differently to try and cope, or you offset that. And that also sets your step. So when you have an ankle or a lower leg injury, like an ankle or anything in your foot, like that's why these heel injuries, like what's going on with Kyrie is wrong. You kind of just mentally and like DNA, your body tries not to take on that pain or it shifts it, which then causes you to operate on your opposite leg or your counter leg a little bit differently. This causes you to make different steps and shift your weight in different ways, hence the hyperextension of the knee. And this actually can lead to long-term injuries if you don't manage that. So I would be really surprised if Jaylen doesn't play, because that right there is just an injury begging to happen. And also begging to happen, if you have comments today, if you want any questions, guys and girls who are live in the chat, please feel free to put them down below and we'll put them up on here, like Hoy and our boy Donnie Sicario, the sickest of all the lads. Next up, we've got the Raptors and the Hawks. This one's got the Raptors favored today. The Raptors are favored against the Hawks. What are we liking here? What are we targeting it in? What can we bring in or glean from the Hawks and Raptors game?
Yeah, so obviously Hawks have a fair amount of outs with Johnson, Griffin, Buffkin, and Gay. And Hunter is still game time decision today. So if Bogdanovic is still on your wire, you got to snap him up because, geez, might get another 40 piece with 10 triples out of your ass again. But Bay's obviously the other pickup there for the Hawks. He's been doing his thing. He's been getting 10 rebound games as well with a few threes, about 16 points. I mean, that's valuable there, right?
Yep.
That's all good. But what we are starting to see as well is a bit more of a Kongwu and Capella playing next to each other. And Kongwu is coming out with he's showing a bit of shooting form as well, 3 threes in his last game. So that's a little bit saucy there to see that combination come together. So, it's an interesting matchup. And obviously Toronto are completely healthy. So, I don't think there's anyone really to be picking up for Toronto. I'm not. Are you big on Gary Trent Jr. From Toronto? Or?
Look, I'm big on him as a stream option on low volume days, but this is not really a low volume game day, if that makes sense. So you look through. This is like your biggest day. So I've got my preview up here today. On Friday in America, there's 8 games. On Saturday, there's 10 games. So we've got this really big slate of games over 2 days. So the back-to-backs are the Hawks, the Hornets, the Pistons, the Pacers, the Knicks, and the Sixers. So I look down here and I'm like, if you could get a Kongwu in, you'd get him in. If you could get a Piston in, you could get a Piston in, especially with Jalen Duren still out. You could. These are the guys you target. Pacers. We said TJ McConnell earlier on. Do you need a point guard? The Knicks. Quentin Grimes is in there. Josh Hart's on a lot of wires. You're just looking around the fringes. Dante DiVincenzo has been getting a lot more of a run. Do we say hello to Dante? He's the other Dante that's been doing very well this week.
Isaiah
we call him the other Dante.
Hartenstein, if he's on your wire, you go pick up Hartenstein for that back-to-back, 100%.
I am still not. Look, you pick him up for the back-to-back, especially if you need a center, but I've been a little bit, I guess I haven't been the biggest Hartenstein. I think I had PTSD of him last year. Yeah, because I picked him up last year for field goal percentage, and Tom Thibodeau was just like, seems reluctant to play the guy. And in the 2 games since, he's seen 29 minutes and 27 minutes. Now, his field goal percentage and his free throw percentages are great. And he's got 3 blocks in the last 2 games. He's not giving you much outside, 6 or 8 rebounds. You can get these stats from Goga, but you can get more points, more rebounds, more assists, more steals, more blocks. So I've always just been curious of the reluctancy of Tom Thibodeau to run out Hartenstein as more than if he was playing 34, 36 minutes a night, huge. And if they weren't starting Jericho Sims for some dumbass reason, I'd be thrilled. Like, why do we put Jericho Sims out there? What the fuck? Like, do you remember the waiver wire this week? It was fucked. Yeah. Everyone was like, Hartenstein, he's starting. He's the guy. And Tom Thibodeau is just sitting back, drinking a coffee in the morning, being like,
yeah, pretty much. But then again, the minute split, it was still Hartenstein. I think he had 28 to Sims 20. But, man, Thibodeau...
Give Sims 12. Give Sims 12 minutes. Yeah, give Sims 12, 15, and give another 5 to Hartenstein. That's honestly, what I want.
It doesn't matter anyway, because if your name's not Brunson, Barrett, or Randall, you're not allowed to shoot the fucking ball in the starting lineup for the Knicks. Even DiVincenzo comes into the starting lineup and he has 2 shots for the game. Quentin Grimes, who's been starting all fucking year, goes to the bench and he scores 19 points. You're like, if you're in the starting lineup, it's Brunson, Randall, and Barrett, that's it. No one else is allowed to shoot the ball.
No one else is.
No.
Do they have a bit of a? Do they walk up to Dante at halftime, being like, "You owe us $50"? They're like, "What? You took fucking 5 shots, Dante. You owe us $10 for every time you shoot that fucking basketball." It's probably more like $100. It's in the NBA. We're talking NBA money. It's like $1,000. It's like, you owe us 5,000 each. And Dante's like, "What did I do?" And like, you shot the fucking ball, man.
Hey, you're not allowed to do that.
Julius Randle's like and Julius doesn't speak. That's Brunson doing it. Randle's just sitting back doing this in the background, looking hard, being like,
didn't give me the ball in the post. You better give that to me next time so I can do fucking 5 spin moves in a quarter. Like, come on, man. But, yeah.
Spin into a fade. That's exactly what's happened in the New York Knicks. We're loving that one. Hey, look, we're talking about your favorite team in the world, the Lakers. The Lakers and the Spurs.
Can we just say right now, what the fuck are the Lakers doing? They've got their whole starting lineup listed as game time decision. We know LeBron and shit are all playing. Like, why do this shit? Like, it's so goddamn annoying. But, okay, so Russell is a game time. Reddish is a game time. Prince is a game time. LeBron's a game time. Davis is game time. Vanderbilt's a game time. So, fucked if I know what's going to happen here. I mean, I think LeBron's going to play. Davis rolled his ankle and then still dropped 38 and 12 or whatever the hell it was last time against the Spurs.
He's so good. Anthony Davis is so good. Like, you know what? I'm over the whole day-to-day Davis talk too. I'm kind of like, I've just sat back this season. I'm like, do we just like to? Here's a question in fantasy: do we like to perpetuate? This is a legit question. Do we like to perpetuate narratives that we're historically attached to for whatever reason? Like, at the end of the day, Anthony Davis is an NBA champion. Whether he should have been in the top 75 players of all time last year or not, that's a debatable topic. Fair enough. But this guy shows at times to be the best player or one of the 4 best players in the NBA, but we love to go with the day-to Davis routine. We haven't had that this year. We talk about, oh, he's not committed or he has an off game. Yeah, well, you know what? Damian Lillard has off games this season. Are we hating Dame the same, or are we just using the narrative that, oh, it just doesn't fit right now, or it's not working with Giannis right now, so they're having this disconnect? The guy can play at an MVP level. This is what you drafted Anthony Davis for. And I'm kind of just over the narrative of like hating on Davis. I'm like, he's playing really well. And I like his whole and this might be a bit of a Davis rant, but I sat back and I listened to it the other day. I'm like, he doesn't do the social media thing. He just sits back and plays his game. I kind of respect it about the guy. That's just me. What are your thoughts on AD?
No, I like AD. I think he's an amazing basketball player and he's fantastic. Like, he gets a lot of like little injuries. So we keep you can have the jokes about him and everything like that, but it's still matter of respect for how good his game is and, the ability that he's been able to push through. I think he puts a bit of mayo on it sometimes, but that's all right. Like, you always put a bit of mayo on a story or whatnot. That's fine. But look, you can't take away from how good he is. It's
Kewpie mayo, though. It has to be that Japanese Kewpie mayo. Can we just say that is the best of the
that's good shit. That is good shit. But yeah, I think, a lot of other people want to put it like it's, when you talk about like the narratives from the media and shit like that, it's because they play for the Lakers and the Lakers have to be fucking perfect and they have to be the best and all this kind of bullshit. And it's because everyone talks about it. Like if we had the same talk about, Milwaukee, or if we had it about the Heat or something like that, then we'd get the same shit. But it's just because everyone dick rides the Lakers and they have to talk about the Lakers. So that's the only narratives that they can come up with is, doing the same crap again. I do it because I think it's funny at certain times. But, I still have mad respect for how much he's playing through it and how well he's been playing. But, he's still one of the best in there. But also, too, you just brought up the top 75 that Anthony Davis was in there. How the fuck he got over Dwight Howard? Like, come on, man.
I have no idea. Maybe because it's the champ. Maybe it's the champion. Yeah, maybe it's the champ. I don't know. I thought it was an egregious. I know.
Dwight wanted two. Like he won the same championship. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was in the finals as well while he was the leading player. Like Davis.
I don't dispute that. I think Dwight Howard. I think prime Dwight Howard was he was an absolute physical specimen. Like the guy's ability was, I think, was an egregious oversight not to even include him in the discussion. And there was some question about others, but I think they did it with too many bigs, or maybe someone was off paid there. But let's talk about one. Next game we've got the. By the way, in the Spurs, huge game for Wembanyama. If you're looking to roll it out this year, we're maybe looking for a couple of more rebounds from Wembanyama. Again, we're looking for over 8+ on that one. He's been showing a lot more form, and I like that from Wemby, but I still do think that Chet Holmgren is the sneaky punt for Rookie of the Year because he has put together a fantastic season.
Just quickly, I had this conversation with a couple of my boys the other day, how they were saying, I reckon Chet's still going to win Rookie of the Year over Wemby. Wemby is currently averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists, more threes, more blocks. Everything that Chet is doing well, Wemby is actually beating him at the moment. And I was on the Chet hype train as well. And then I kind of looked at it and went, oh shit, Wemby's actually killing it right now, man. Like, and that last game against the Lakers, 30, 13, and 6 blocks. Holy shit.
And they were down. Like, he's like, they were down, and he dragged them. He dragged back in, and like by the skin of his teeth.
He's going to be the number one fantasy player in fantasy for such a long time when he's in it. It's going to be it's going to be the new Jokic minus assists, but with blocks. It's going to be
question.
It's going to be fucked.
Quick question. Do you think that next year he is a 100% lock to be a first round player next year? 100% lock to be considering people were taking him in the second round this year. Do you think that he has bumped into, even if it's like a pick 10, pick 11, pick 12, do you think that's where we see him move towards?
Yes. I think it is actually. The way he's playing at the moment, it's kind of everything we were expecting, and he's already surpassing it in his first year. And let's say this now, right? He's doing all this without a point guard, which is something that
No. I won't take this. I won't take the Sohan hate.
Sohan's not
I won't take
guard.
the Trey Jones. I know he's not.
No. So if they get an actual point guard, right? If they get an actual point guard to play alongside Wemby, like it's going to unlock him even more. Like it would be
100%.
Just unbelievable to watch what he's going to be able to do.
This is going to be a scary team next year. They're going to get a low draft pick again. And then if they do they've got the cap space in San Antonio, like you wouldn't believe. And if they decide to be like, you know what, Wembanyama as well, just the low-key thing we need to keep in mind is Wemby is, for all intents and purposes, an attractive target for a champion, someone chasing a ring. Oh, wait, you can go and play with Victor Wembanyama? Okay. That's an attractive outlook for a lot of people. So we're just going to keep in mind what that happens there. Next game up is the Rockets and the Grizzlies. And just people, shout out to Tari Eason. The guy has gone up 27%. I did the show the other day. Is it happening? Is it not happening? I put him out there. I said, look, let's look at Tara Eason to bring him in. He has gone up 27% in Yahoo on the last day. He is now rostered in 48% of leagues, which means there is 52% of leagues where this guy is still on the wire. This is what we like to see, especially with the Sunday, Monday back-to-back double. He can capstone your week very nicely, and then you can roll him into the first game of the week on Monday, and you can hold him long-term as well. But that's something we want to look at. We definitely want to look at Tara Eason, what leagues he's available in of ours. Skiddy, you're liking what your missus is a massive Rockets fan, isn't she?
She is. She's a massive Rockets fan and a massive Jalen Green fan. So she wasn't happy about the minutes going down for Green to give more to Tari Eason, but then she messaged me and she goes, "Who's this T Eason bloke?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, baby, he's got some game." And she's like, "Why don't we play him more?" That's a great question, sweetheart. Why don't you play him more? But no, that's how it is. Oh, quickly, Jordan Poole is playing. He's healthy. So let's hold on. Kispert, Koulibaly's still a go. Kispert, let's hold that for a sec.
I love doing this live show so we see these things happen as they do.
See it pop up.
It's good to see it pop up. Yeah, it is.
So Rockets played Grizzlies the other day. Grizzlies obviously didn't have Desi Bane. Williams Jr. for Memphis, he could be a cheeky little pickup if need be. He's been playing all right with some all right minutes. But last time they played, Rockets killed him. This was the game that Tari had 25 and 14 with Green's minutes gone down. So Freddie Van Vliet, it's been nice to see Fred get his steals back. That's been a nice little positive for them.
I just want to know the other day as a Rockets. Sorry, I'm going to ask you on this one. I do want to ask you as a Rockets guy before we put some stuff together. I've been disappointed with the amount of shot attempts that Fred's having as the quote unquote leader of this team. I would like to be seeing him bumping up to 18 to 22 points a night on the reg, and I'd love to be seeing some more threes from him. They're just down a little bit right now, and his attempts are down. Do you think he's just really settled into this, like, I'm just playing the team basketball thing, or would you like to see some more aggression out of him? Because Alpy's the primary distributor, yet Fred is the team leader in assists. So this is where I'm like, how they operate is a really interesting mix.
Yeah, I think they're the number one defense in the league at the moment as well, which is just unbelievable to think.
Unbelievable.
It's the number one defense in the league 25 games into the season. I think, Fred's obviously he's the backbone, he's the leader, he's the captain on the team there. But I think he's just doing what he has to do, what he thinks he has to win. And that's what Fred's always been. Like, you think back when they won the championship in Toronto, it was, Fred was there when he needed to be there, but, he'd let Kawhi cook. Then when Kawhi left, he was like, hey, I'm going to get these shots to Pascal. I'm going to get it to OG. He's just going to do what he's got to do to get the win. So I think if Fred's if he's distributing, then it's all good. But, I'd like to see him get a little bit more shots. But, if that's Fred's going to know he knows how to run an offense. That's the main thing. So if he thinks that he needs to pass, he needs to pass. If he thinks he can score it, he's going to do it. We've seen games where he's gone for 20, 25, but pretty much every game he's been going, he's been getting like 7+ assists pretty much most games, even though Alpy is also doing some distributing. So I don't know. I think their offense is working all right at the moment. I think Brooks is shooting too much, but that's okay. yeah, Fred's still averaging 8.6 assists. Like he's still up there with getting it. So, yeah, I think they're working all right. I think the Rockets win this one again. Desi Bain again is game time decision for the Grizzlies.
And can we just say on that, how Jaren Jackson Jr. has stepped up these last couple of games and putting up the 40 pieces has been huge, big time numbers for Jaren Jackson Jr. So if you've got him in a points league, you'd be absolutely laughing today. That also talks about points. I want to make a point about the Phoenix Suns and the big three. They played their first game the other day. It wasn't successful versus the team they traded for. The irony in that situation, losing to the Brooklyn Nets, I thought was absolutely bloody priceless, to be honest. But the Suns are back up against the Knicks, or the Julius Randle Knickerbockers, as we like to call them, because he's the only one that exists. 22 points a game currently, 9 rebounds, 5 assists for Julius Randle as the man, obviously, for the Knicks. They are playing the Suns at home. Do you want to give us an update on the lineups for that one, mate?
Yeah, so Mitchell Robinson obviously still out for the Knicks. Jericho Sims is going to start again. Hartenstein will probably get the bulk of the minutes. They're still sticking with DiVincenzo starting, Grimes off the bench, with Quickly being back now as well, which is good. So that's all it is for the Knicks. Hartenstein's the only pick up there. But then for the Suns, all big three, I like to call them the 3.5, actually, because Nurk is playing out of his goddamn mind.
He really is.
Having that swing, I took Nurk in probably about 2 or 3 leagues at probably
you did actually
120, and I'm sitting there going, "This is a starting center who has a great fantasy profile, and I'm getting him at 120." Like and he's been returning it in bunches for me, so I'm very happy with that. But Grayson Allen returns today, so I'm interested to see if Allen starts or if they go. Oh no, Okogie's still out. Sorry, and Gordon's actually now a game time, so. We still don't get to see the full Phoenix Suns starting lineup yet, but I assume it'd be Allen, not Keita Bates-Diop or Nasir Little for now. So, yeah, I don't even think Grayson Allen's like a pickup, really. I mean, I'm not on that. I think you're just going to leave the Suns, like that other player in the starting lineup for the Suns, you're just going to leave, or you can just stream in if you need to. He's just going to shoot threes, if anything. I was super impressed with Jordan Goodwin while Beal and Booker were out.
100%.
He's always a good pickup if one of those two guys sits, but Beal's still on a minutes restriction, I believe. So
he is.
we could roll Grayson Allen this game if he's going to get the minutes there, because he can be a good source of threes.
Well, let's talk about this one for a little hot second, because we're going to roll in something that's important to us. We're going to put on our punt. If you do love a punt, shout out to Bonus Bank. You can use promo code INSIDE to get 25% off your first month's of subscription. It's a great side hustle if you're looking for your punts and if you're doing your match betting. This is the site that's going to help you maximize your bet returns. And all those promotions you see, there's little cheeky text that you get, like I got, this power play going on. What is that about? Or even if you want to look for odds like at The Bachelors, I did that with the wife this week. We brought up the odds of The Bachelors, find out how you can bet that. Like, we looked at these things. You know, like, you can find out anything. You can find out parlays and everything from this website. Get onto it and check out our friends from Mailbag. But we're going to go through all the games today and have our best look on the way through. So, Skiddy, I've got it up here. This is the heat check pool. We're going to put all of our little power prices and our bonus bets together and our returns. We've got a lot of them in single game multis, to be fair. But we're going to put together some nice little pickups right now from top to bottom days. We're going to go through our wins and our losers, and we're going to do it. We're going to do this preview.
He's heating up.
Yeah.
All right. Up for it. We're going to go through the games of the day and find out our best looks either single way. We're going to start up there with the Wizards this morning. Let's go the Hornets and the Pelicans. They're all starting off at the same time. We're going to go the Hornets, Pelicans. We think the Pels going to get the W.
Yep, Pels to get the W here. I think that's a pretty safe bet. With that's all I can say from that one. I don't want to get too spicy with it, just because I think it could be a bit of a shit show. But if you're feeling a little bit more spicy, I'm liking Terry Rozier's assists have been nice as of late. So 6 assists is $1.25. Don't want to put it in, but he's got 7, 13, 13, 7, and 7 in his last 5 games. So
we're just going to go down onto the assist market. We're going to bring that back on down real quickly. Alternate assist for Terry Rozier. We're going to go to 5.5 at $1.24.
Yeah, we can put it in if you want. I'm happy just to stick with the Pelicans to win.
Pelicans to win this one. I do want to make a little bit of a spicy for the points because I do wonder where the points is coming from. And his name did come up. If I looked at the alternate points earlier from Gordon Hayward, he is down at 12.5 at $1.22. And I think that's very doable for Hayward, but I also like Miles Bridges on the alternate line at 15. 15.5 points for Miles Bridges is $1.30. And there's got to have some score somewhere as well. So we'll leave the Pelicans one alone. We'll go on to the next one of the day. We've got the Pacers and the Wizards. Mm-hmm. Anything here like Pacers for the win 100%, because let's know that without a shadow of a doubt that there's no chance that the Wizards win a basketball game ever. Two made threes. Let's go right down here. I'm going to look for just player points markets, and I've said it before, we do not like to put in Kyle Kuzma. And I just keep on flirting with the ideal of Kyle Kuzma. 19.5 points for Kyle at 127.
We're not doing it because he's burnt us the last 2 times. So we're not doing that. I just looked at the over-under. Have you seen the over-under for this game?
No.
261.5. Holy shit. And
it's because some people don't know how to play defense.
Well, the weird thing is, it's like, that sounds about right. What the hell?
Mate, we got one from Miguel who's watching live, $2. I'm just putting that in on behalf of us. There we go. How much is it? $2.
Free for you, horse. Free for you, baby.
No, we charge around here. You're a premium subscription. Don't forget about your fans. Skiddy, you were that one. All right, we're going to roll into that one real quickly. We're doing this one real quickly. We're going to put that on through. We got the Pistons and the 76ers. This one I want to have some fun with. I do want to get a little bit spicy with this one on the points markets. We're going to do some alternate points here. We're going to go Cade Cunningham, alternate points, 16.5, because no one else seems to score on the team. Bojan, 15.5 points. He's going to have to score. But Joel Embiid, I'm going to leave anything alone with them because I don't think the starters are going to get a run out there. We've also had a question here from Brian. G'day, Brian. Welcome to the feed. Trade Curry for Donovan Mitchell in a points league. Yes. I say yes because I love Donovan Mitchell this season. I'm biased.
Depends. Are you if he's trading Curry for Donovan, I mean, I don't mind it, but I think like you just look at what the fantasy, like, you know, what points they're going to be putting up. I think Donovan's going to go crazy now without Garland there, so that's good. But also Curry needs to be the one that carries the Warriors as well, and pretty much for the remainder of the season. But I think in short term you'd be leaning Donovan. Long term, I think it's pretty much going to be roughly around neck and neck. So I mean, I don't mind it either way there, mate. You just have a look how your point setting is set up, and Donovan in the short term is definitely going to be more appealing than Steph at the moment.
And I also have a little bit of a thing. We haven't seen a Steph Curry injury yet for the season or him rested. And it usually just happens. There's a few games out, Brian. So we haven't seen it yet. It generally happens where he goes away for like 5 to 8 games here or there. So I think Donovan, on a year where it's been interesting whether he gets traded or stays and all that talk around Donovan, he's just putting up good numbers. And I love that he's been showing first round value. And I've just been a massive Donovan Mitchell. I've been a massive Donovan Mitchell fan this year. So, but I also love Curry. I think we've had a similar question before. It's really pick your poison, Brian, but I just favor Mitchell, especially in the short term right here. Lakers and Spurs, this one right here, rebounds markets.
Philly? Sorry, what do we have for Philly?
For Philly, we put on the slip for Philly. We put on Cunningham 16.5 points, Bojan 15.5 points, and Tobias Harris over 10.5 points.
Jesus Christ! All right. Yeah,
you want to get rid of Tobias? Get rid of Tobias.
I'll back you on it.
I think Tobias is a nice little steady one for 10.5 points because they roll him out there in the second unit a little bit more. Unless you want to put Kelly Oubre in for minimum points because you love him.
I would prefer Oubre just because I think if it's a blowout there, they're going to roll Kelly out there more than they would Tobias.
Only because Mick Dell sexualized you with your mustache, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to lift you up as a man and be like, that's fine.
My good sir.
You're more than just a mustache to me, Skiddy. That's 100% what that is. Here we go. You're more than a mustache. You're more than a woman to me. 127 over 8.5 points. There you go. The very minimum points for you. That's what you get for Kelly Oubre. There you go. In the Spurs and the Lakers today, we're going to wrap this one up down really quickly. We're just looking at some rebounds here because we think there's going to be some big rebounding games. I'm a little cheeky one here on LeBron James getting +6 rebounds if he plays. Thoughts, feels?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, we saw pretty much what happened with that last game where, what was it? Wemby had 30 and 12 or something like that, and Anthony Davis had 38 and 10 or something like that, but there was no LeBron, and that was a pretty close game in the end of it. So obviously the numbers were inflated as well with the free throws that happened to Davis at the end, but I'd be pretty confident with Lakers here. I mean, we can have a look at Wemby rebounds or AD with 25 points. They look pretty mano a mano there, but that's what I'd be looking at.
All right, here we go. Let's bring it back down here. We'll go to points. We'll go down to Anthony Davis for points, and we'll bring them both down to the lower threshold. Alternate points for AD, 22.5, 125, and we're going to go into for Victor Wembanyama, minimum points 15.5 at $1.25. We'll wrap that one in as well. On the Celtics and the Magic, real quickly, we're just going to go, look, we're just going to look... We're just going to go the Magic as a wild play at 2-6. Far be it for me to ever disparage you. Far be it for me to ever disparage you on this whatsoever. And we're going down, as we said, onto alternate points for Jason Tatum, bringing it back down to the lowest threshold for him at 23.5 points, just because we know that he's going to be the one to cook here. I'm not going to touch the Raptors and the Hawks game, apart from one thing. He's been on an absolute bender for rebounds. And I'm just looking at the minimum rebounds. I'm looking at the minimum rebounds for Jakob Poeltl, just for the minimum rebounds to see what his alternate is, because him and Clint Capella, this is the thing, he's up against Clint Capella and Okongwu. So you just look at the minimum ones. He's got 7.5 rebounds as his minimum at $1.36 for Jakob Poeltl.
Okay, well, the last time the Hawks and the Raptors played, Raptors won by 7. This was 2 days ago. Poeltl had 13 rebounds.
That's correct.
So fair enough there. Yeah, I can see that. All right, if you want to put that in, I'll back out.
7.5. Yeah. I'm going for 7.5. I'm going for 5 less than he got the other day.
6, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, I can do that.
6.
Just no head-to-heads in that.
No head-to-head. None whatsoever. Rockets and Grizz. Anything you like there?
Sorry, crap. I need to go back to the bloody. So Grizz. Rockets won this game the other day without Desi Bane playing for the Grizzlies, but this was a game where Jaren Jackson had 44, and no one else.
And Bane is back.
Maybe he's game time at the moment. He's still dealing with the flu, but this was the game where Jabari Smith Jr. had 20 and 10, Fred VanVleet 11 and 9, Jalen Gray did nothing, Şengün did nothing. This was the game that Tari Eason had 25 and 14. So I don't want anything for the Rockets. If you want, you can put Jaren for points, but I'd take the Rockets to win it.
We'll just hit Rockets for the win.
Yep.
Suns and the Knicks.
This is an interesting game.
I think so.
We just saw the big three play for the first time the other day in the loss to Brooklyn. This is interesting because this is one where I like the matchup for Julius Randle. You know what I mean? Like they don't have and Brunson as well. They don't really have an answer for Randle and Brunson, the Suns. I think I like the Suns because I like the Suns. I'm
Ron Burgundy.
But no one's stopping KD and Book. Beal's obviously still working into it. I'm not massively high on anything for Beal, but I think the Suns win, but I'm not 100% now that I think about the matchup for Brunson and Randle because they don't have that physical force to stop Randle besides Yusuf.
I like Randle only today for 6+ rebounds at $1.10. That's all. The only thing I really like right now is that I only like the rebounds there, and I like that, and I like KD points. I think KD's.
I like KD points too. Yeah.
I like KD points, so we'll bring KD back down to the very minimum of the points on his marker for the day. Kevin Durant also at points. He's showing at 22.5, so I like that against him as well because in a game he's going to do that, and that pins us up about there. The one other thing that I would like to look at is Devin Booker alternate points today because I think he can cook at 21.5. Do we leave it or we leave it alone?
I think we leave it just on. I know Book can just score against bloody anyone, but Josh Hart actually plays Book pretty well.
He does.
So I want to, I don't want to put that in there for him. I know, but Book just cooks everyone. So, I mean, you can if you'd like. His assist also could be, we could, you can do his assists if they start to double him and blitz him like the Warriors do and the Brooklyn Nets did. So,
yep. Well,
You
I'm
know,
putting
but
one
this-
little cherry on. I'm putting one little cherry to pop us into
Okay.
over $80. I'm putting Kevin Durant to make 1-3.
Okay. I like it. Yep.
That's
I think
just
it's
the
going to be
thing.
more of a KD game. I think this is more of a KD game. They got no one to stop KD, in my opinion.
All right, so we brought him down on that one. So we're going to go KD. I'll give him for 2 made threes instead. How does that sound? There's no one to stop the man.
One's fine.
$1.45. One is fine. Okay.
Yeah,
At $1.45 for 2 Kevin Durant threes. You don't want to touch it.
Like it.
You like it? I think 2 at $1.45 is. I like it a lot.
All right, Jay, I'll back you. That's fine.
It's Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know.
And if he's got that floor stretch, he's okay. Well, we'll put in for the 2. Or put in 2. It takes us to 116.
No worries.
All right, and it's on the 15.
Good.
All right, here we go. I like it's 2. It's 10. How many? Bring up Kevin Durant's past game performance for threes. Just surely. We're not egregious. So we go through it this way. We've got the Pelicans at $1.24. We've got the Pacers at 126. We've got Cade Cunningham over 16.5. Bojan Bogdanovic for 130 for over 15.5. Kelly Oubre over 8.5. LeBron James, 6 rebounds at $1.19. Anthony Davis over 22.5 points. Wembanyama over 15.5 points. The Magic to upset the Celts today. Tatum over 23.5 points. Jakob Poeltl for 7.5 rebounds. Atlanta, we've got the Rockets to get the win over the Grizz. We've got Julius Randle for 6 rebounds at $1.10. Kevin Durant over 22.5 points at $1.27. And capping it off with KD. Do we do KD at 145 for 2 made threes? How many has he been on lately?
Last game, he had 1. Game before 4. Game before that 2. Game before that 1. Game before that 2.
Okay, we're going to make it 1, Skiddy.
Smart.
Smart. All right. Smart. 1 made threes. KD. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. That's our 15. That's our bet now. That is our multi for the week. And that's heat check. We're in the bag. We're done.
Love it.
And we didn't even talk about punting until the very, very end.
I know.
That's how good we were.
Rainer would be so fucking proud of us.
He would be so proud. He's like, maybe we did it for too long, but we did it live and no one's going to tell anyone. Hey, look, thanks so much for listening, everyone. It's been a wonderful hour. Bless up. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of the things. And by the way, one last bit of a plug. We've got to give a shout out to our good friends over at Standard Squeeze, who you know that you're repping that hat right now. It is coming up Christmas time. I'm not going to lie. My wife can probably hear this in the background right now, but I actually went on myself the other day and I bought her she's gone back to work after maternity leave. And I thought she needed another to take a hot chocolate with her on the way to work in the morning or on the way home if she needed a drink. So I actually jumped onto Standard Squeeze and I bought her an awesome hot pink 4-in-1 cup, which is like the ones that we use here. You can travel with them anywhere. You can take them on the train, in the car. It's a perfect gift. And they are selling out of stock left, right, and center. Jump onto the Standard Squeeze, get some apparel. They're perfect for camp. If you've got a camper in your life, the premix bottle is amazing. Matty O'Brien can't live without it. And he has it in the office, I'm pretty sure. So make sure you jump onto the Standard Squeeze. Yeah, it does. You can carry it anywhere. So jump onto the Standard Squeeze, sort out your last minute Christmas gifts. They're like a rapid fire. Literally, I had the thing for it the next day because the missus and I are traveling to Queensland. And I know I've got a present ready for her in Queensland, ready to go already because they shipped it the next morning and it's already at my folks' place ready for our family Christmas. So jump onto the Standard Squeeze and buy it like I do. Skiddy, much love to you and take care as always, my man.
Thank you very much, Matty G. All the best. And let's get some coin today, baby. Woo!
Woo! Christmas.